UMAR AHMED, IFL TV, MTK Global at the final press conference for DeGALE Eubank. We're 2 days out. I'm joined by DeGALE's trainer, Jim McDONNELL. How you doing, mate?
All good, my friend, all good.
Where are the boys today, Jimmy and Tom?
James was coming here, but I don't know where he is, and Tom was in Camden.
Okay. So Jimmy is coming, yeah?
Yeah, he should be in there. I'm sure he's in somewhere, but I ain't seen him. But he should be,
Anyways, your first reaction to what was a heated press conference, to say the least?
Yeah, listen, as you got two protagonists, you got two Arsenal Tottenham. It's like a football rivalry, so rivalries create atmosphere and interest. And what happened at the press conference? Yeah, a bit of buzz.
A lot of buzz. The man next to you, Eubank Senior, ended up bringing James's mum into the conversation. What did you feel about that?
I just think that basically they know James is close to his mum, so obviously mind games, but I'd already educated James before he got here that this would be the case. So when it arrived, he was already ready for it. That's why he never reacted. So he didn't use no unnecessary energy in trying to shout it in. So he just kept cool.
An interesting comment from Chunky in the press conference was he's not going to box, he's going to give it to Eubank Jr. Is he having a bit of tongue-in-cheek with Junior there, you reckon, or is he being serious?
I've got to be very careful what I say here, so I'll swerve that one.
Fair enough, I don't blame you. Yeah, again, back to the press conference, it was a lot of back and forth. See, George Groves ended up being the main topic of discussion. I'm going to have to ask you, your team hasn't barred him at all from the broadcast?
No, not at all. Absolutely not at all. George Groves is a fantastic person, he's a good boxer, he's had a great career. You know, him and James have got a great rivalry, great thing. But no way, James. That's not James at all. No way. He would never do nothing like that ever. So I was shocked when I even heard it. It was like, what? No way, no way. They're rivals. They don't like each other, etc., etc., etc. But James is a good human being, and he would never ever do that.
I would have thought it's a bit strange that either camp really would be worrying about who would be on the broadcast team and more worrying about Saturday night.
Well, if you hit the nail on the head, it's absolutely irrelevant who's on the broadcasting team. It really doesn't make no difference to what happens when that first bell rings.
Listen, something might have happened with George. There must have been a family issue or something. We don't know. We can't say one of the teams has taken him out.
No, yeah, absolutely. You know, who knows? I'm sure we'll all find out within the next 24 hours or so. But I'm sure there's a valid reason.
Now, someone else who got pretty heated in the press conference was Junior's brother. He kept asking you questions. What was he saying to you? Everyone was shouting.
I didn't actually realise who he was. But now you've said who it was, now it makes sense. So, yeah, I know Senior really well, everything. But listen, it's all banter, it's all ballyhoo, and it's all like building up the fight. But I don't think the fight needs any more building. I think it's the turnout shows, brilliant turnout, and yeah. Let people. Hopefully, the fight lives up to the build-up.
Another theme in the press conference, retirement. That word must have got used about 1,000 times. What do you make of all this retirement talk?
Well, I think really for both guys, it's boxing's a sport that really, from fight to fight, no one knows what's going to happen. But I think it's early days for both of them in their careers. I don't know why there's even a mention of the word retirement. Like, you know, in the modern era of now with sports science and etc., etc., etc. You know, like both these guys have got plenty of fights left in them if they wish to continue with their career.
Is there more of a case though for Chunky to retire if he loses because he's boxed and beaten the likes of DeGALE, Butte, whereas Junior really, you know, his best win's probably Yildirim or Spike O'Sullivan? Yeah,
and you've hit the nail on the head. Like you've summed it up in one. Like James has done the journey. And he's got all the accolades, and he's achieved everything you can achieve in the sport. And Chris, in the meantime, is still peering to get there. So, and as Chris said, he's got no intention of retiring anyway. So, fair play to him.
Mentioning levels, though, why did you say in the press conference that it's a 50-50 fight?
I didn't say it was a 50-50 fight. No.
What do you think it is?
As a betting man, I think the fight ain't about Chris at all. It's all about James. As long as James is James. And in preparation, that's exactly who he's been, then he wins the fight.
Sorry, I think Paulie must have said that. Someone definitely on your side did say that. Anyways, someone else has moved up to super middleweight, is Billy Joe Saunders. What do you make of the move, firstly?
I don't know what Billy Joe's situation was at middleweight, but like, listen, he's a class act. He's Olympian. He's a world champion. It'd be great for the division. and you know, fresh breath of fresh air to the division, like James going out, Billy Joe coming in, or whatever Chris decides to do. Maybe them two will have their rematch down the line. Yeah, so interesting.
I spoke to Billy Joe the other day, and he admitted part of the reason he's come up that weight is not only to become a 2-weight world champion, but to fight the winner of this. I know you guys aren't looking past Saturday and Junior, but you know, a fight with Chunky and Billy Joe, that would be huge.
Yeah, listen, all the fights, all the domestics, they're like the football matches, like Arsenal, Tottenham.
You love comparing it to the football.
It's so true, because I'm a football fan, and because I go and watch football, and I get that vibe, and I get that feeling, it's just true. Like this, mate, if James was boxing an American of Chris Eubanks' record now, who'd been beaten at the highest level, do you think there'd be a press conference like today? And it was just, he's going to a 12-round fight with no title on the line, and it was just an American opponent with exactly the same record. He's boxed for the world title twice. Yeah, there'd be a few people, but do you think there'd be this interest? No way. No way. It's the vibe, it's the build-up, it's the things that have gone on in the past, and that's why so many people here today. It's not really a much bigger fight than James just boxing someone from America with the same record as Junior, who's had a couple of losses, coming over, and it's James's comeback fight. Because you'd go, oh, but you wouldn't get a press conference like this. It's because of Chris's surname, because of like what he's about, because of his dad's history. That's why it's such a big fight.
Jim, you can take a step back if you want. You've really zoomed on the camera, and I can't zoom out anymore. That's perfect. You mentioned the last name of Chris Eubank Jr. If he didn't have that name, do you think he'd be at this stage?
I think it's been a fantastic advantage for him. I think it's got him into massive fights because he's got into these fights without going through eliminators, without fighting the best out there, without fighting the top boys, without proving himself the best in Britain, proving himself the best in Europe. So, but from a business perspective, what a fantastic vehicle he had, because it shook him on a drive, which without his dad's name, it would never have happened. And if it did happen, it would have happened at a different rate. It wouldn't have happened as quickly, and Chris would have had to have had some tick-off fights along the way to get to where he's got to now.
If all goes well for you Saturday night, how does it compare to the victories, for example, over Butte and DeGALE?
Listen, you take every fight as a massive victory. They're fantastic victories, and this will be another fantastic victory. Boxing, you know, it's not just the opponent; it's the name. The seniors made the name very famous, especially with the boxing encore. So that's why, like, I keep using that publicity thing. It's like a derby between two guys clashing. So there's a lot of bragging rights on without any world titles being on the line. So yeah, it'd be a great win for James.
Just the last one. Obviously, you've got another fight on the bill, Chris Congo. He's fighting Cedric Payne now, who obviously we know from the two Conor Benn fights. So yeah, it should be a good fight for Chris.
Yeah, Chris Congo has been one of James's chief sparring partners in the lead up to this fight. So he's had fantastic sparring. He's in a great place. He's a lovely kid, and he's a quality fighter. And I'm looking forward to him putting on a quality performance as well.
If all goes well for Chris, can we expect the Johnny Garton fight for the British title this year?
Do you know what? Like I say, Chris is ready for these fights now. Like I said, he's been sparring at the highest level. So yeah, he's more than ready for any of them.
All right, Jim McDonnell, thank you very much for talking to IFL TV, and the worst of luck with Arsenal tonight.